exactly what he had heard directly from the Lord. Narada again told exactly the same thing to Vyasa, and Vyasa also told Shukadeva exactly what he heard from Narada. And Shukadeva was going to repeat the same statements as he had heard them from Vyasa. That is the way of Vedic understanding. The language of the Vedas can be revealed only by the above-mentioned disciplic succession and not otherwise. There is no use in theories. Knowledge must be factual. There are many things that are complicated, and one cannot understand them unless they are explained by one who knows. The Vedic knowledge is also very difficult to know and must be learned by the above-mentioned system. Otherwise, it is not at all understood. Shukadev Goswami therefore prayed for the mercy of the Lord so that he might be able to repeat the very same message that was spoken directly by the Lord to Brahma, or what was directly spoken by Brahma to Narada. Therefore, the statements of creation explained by Shukadev Goswami are not at all, as the mundaners suggest, theoretical, but are perfectly correct. One who hears these messages and tries to assimilate them gets perfect information of the material creation. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the second canto, fourth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Process of Creation. Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramam Nisvaminiti Namine. So, again the verse. My dear king, Brahma, the firstborn, on being questioned by Narada, exactly appraised him on this subject as it had been directly spoken by the Lord to his own son, who was impregnated with Vedic knowledge from his very birth. So this topic of hearing knowledge before doing anything, because Srila Prabhupada spoke about it in the beginning of the purport, that even before Brahma did anything in this universe, before any type of creation, he acquired knowledge in order to be able to do proper creation, proper activities. And I think this is something which is worth elaborating. And it reminded me a long forgotten personal story of mine. When I was quite young, not a child, but young, I mean, in elementary school, something like grade 7 or 8. And at that time, I used to spend my summertime at my cousin's place. And on one occasion, they had a big house. And probably I was bored or something, I don't know. But there was in front of me one of these electrical outlets. And this is, somehow this is the mentality of people that when you see a button, you have to push it, or when there is a hole, something should be put inside. And there is this electrical outlet, and there are two holes, not even one. So I wanted to put something inside. And there was some cable somewhere there. And I just took this cable and the two end of it, I put into the two holes of this electrical outlet. And I'm not sure how much you are familiar with the laws of electricity, but this is quite a big problem. And one thing was that electricity from the whole house was gone. because it blew the fuse. I think this is the proper English expression. But after my cousin realized what happened, that something is wrong, and came inside the room, he realized what happened, and I was scolded like anything, because he said that my only luck was that on this cable there was a thin layer of thread, this cotton thread, and because I was holding the the cable, that I didn't actually touch the cable itself. That is why actually I survived. And it's a very interesting story, because these electrical outlets in themselves are not a cause for death or something. But in order to get the benefit, and in order not to cause dangers, we have to know how to use them properly. And one thing, how we can acquire knowledge on how to use them properly, if someone deeply studies these physics books which teach about electricity, that's one thing, or just follow the example of others, because we can see that how others use these electrical outlets, and by following this, we can also use them properly. What it means in regards of knowledge. So one thing is to get the theoretical knowledge by studying the scriptures. And that is when we take the physics books. Or the other thing is when we follow culture. And by culture, I mean real culture, which is Vedic culture. Maybe not Vaishnava culture, but at least Vedic, which means that following the Sattvic principles. And when we follow these principles originally coming from Krishna, then we can live in a peaceful, beneficial way in the material life. I mean, as much as possible, as it is possible in the material life. So one way or the other, practical knowledge is always better. So if we just copy what is working for others, that's the better, because that's practical. But if we combine the two, that's the best, obviously. So it's the same with us. Here we see that Brahma, before creation, he got knowledge, and he didn't just start without any knowledge doing something. Like, you know, when you get some kind of toy bricks, there is this Lego, for example, and we get a box which is suitable to build a hospital of the Lego. And there are some people who just check it out, okay, how to build it in a way that it will be a toy hospital. But others just open up the box, don't even bother what's this set of Lego is used for or suitable for, and just start building something. But when we try to build something else, which it is originally meant for, two things can happen. One is that we just use less parts and don't use everything which is there, which is beneficial, and which can get the best results. Or the other, when we want to have more, then there are some parts missing. So we cannot achieve what we would like to build, because there are not enough parts there. So the best is when we use things in a way which is the original purpose, achieve that original purpose. And for us, this Vedic knowledge is the manual. Like, you know, when you buy some kind of machine, then there is a user's manual. And if you read it first, then you will be able to properly use that machine. But many times we just throw it away. Oh, there are just 3 buttons, I will know how to use it. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. And this Vedic knowledge is the user's manual for life. So if we we study this manual, then we will know how to use our life in a beneficial way, how to how to achieve the best results. But if we neglect it, then it means that there will be ignorance, and ignorance causes suffering. So it will be painful, and as it's mentioned in Sri Ishopanishad, we will be the killers of our own souls, just because we didn't get this knowledge about the manual of life. And just two examples on this. So one was here, which whom we saw, Lord Brahma, that luckily he know what is the proper order of things. First, knowledge and renunciation, not austerities, tapasya, and then getting the results. So then creation. But also, for example, another interesting example is the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, because what happened was that he wanted to achieve some kind of result, which wasn't really a beneficial result, but because he started to achieve it in a good way, in a proper and beneficial way, he realized that his goal is improper, and he could change it. So sometimes when we study in order to achieve the desired results, and sometimes we start to study and learn knowledge, and we realize what is the beneficial result which we should be striving for. So either way, spiritual knowledge, Vedic knowledge, is always beneficial. And if we turn to it, then it will make our life better. So Vedic knowledge is, the goal is not just some theory, but the goal is to have some kind of transformation. And one thing is that we will be purified from matter, materialistic tendencies, and at the same time we will be more and more attached to the spiritual, and which means attached to Krishna. So being attracted to Krishna, love him. And so it means becoming more and more distant from matter and more closer to spirit. And at the same time, just as a side effect, we will be able to have a material life which is as good as it's possible here in the material world. So it's maintainable, and it has some kind of quality. But obviously, it cannot be compared to the spiritual happiness. And in order to have some kind of transformation, there are three aspects which are aspects of knowledge which we should study and know. And this is Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. There is a nice verse about it in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, activities in terms of that relationship, and the ultimate goal of life, to develop love of God, these three subjects are explained in every aphorism of the Vedanta Sutra, for they form the culmination of the entire Vedanta philosophy. So it means that we know where we are right now, what is our position, and where we are going, and what is the proper way to get to our desired destination. And in regards of Sambandha, this connection, relationship, so it means that we know our original position, we know the position of God, and what is what is the basis of our relationship with him, and what are the attributes, qualities of this relationship. So in regards of ourselves, we always know, we state this, that we are not this body. And it seems to be simple, but realizing it is quite difficult. Many times I think that, oh, again, we are not this body. I heard it so many times, thousands and thousands, but still I notice myself act in a different way, like I'm really still don't understanding this thing. So we need to realize this topic. And what it means that we are not this body, but what we are the spirit souls. And it means that our nature is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. And we never die. Spirit soul never dies. And this body is not us, it's just we have this body. And because we identify with this body, that's why we also identify with the qualities of this body, which means that it's temporary, it's limited, it suffers, and whatever. But because we are originally eternal, that's why we are so afraid of death. Because we are originally Ananda in our nature, we are happy. Our goal is to be happy. That's why in a gross way, and in a distorted way, we try to get some kind of knowledge, but in a material sense, it means sense gratification, but it cannot give the same happiness. And that's why we also have a distorted way of achieving knowledge, meaning that we are desperately trying to control material nature, get to know its laws and use them. But at the same time, we can see that there is this tendency for gossip. And that's, as I understand, it's also some manifestation of this, that we want to know what's happening to others. And when we have this kind of goals, the results won't be so beneficial. And let me share you one story. Let me share one story with you, which is about one of my relatives. And she had a well, it's a sad story. So she had the goal to teach belly dance to children. And because she had some bigger belly for that purpose than she thought it would be proper, and she was afraid that these children will laugh at her, she decided to have a plastic surgery in order to remove this extra fat from the belly. So he went to one private clinic and paid a huge sum of money, and quite a big part wasn't even hers, so it was lent by others to her for this purpose. And she had this plastic surgery, but what happened was that the doctor left after the surgery. There were only the nurses there, because it was considered to be a a routine surgery. So they didn't do extra endeavors, but there was some kind of infection. And at first, the nurses didn't really pay so much attention to it, but it became worse and worse and worse. And 24 hours after the surgery, she died. And it really shows what material world is. We try to achieve these our own personal agendas, and this is the result, that we cause extra suffering to others, to ourselves. This girl was, I think, around her 40s, so there was no reason for her to die, but she had these endeavors, and And this was the result. And the worst part is that this is so pointless, you know. And so it's such a terrible, such a sobering story about how we should be conscious about our own goals, so that even if we suffer, even in that case, it will have a meaning. Because if all our endeavors are directed to the Lord and his pleasure, pleasing him, then we may suffer, we may have difficulties, but everything will have a purpose and everything will be uplifting. We will be developing in our spiritual life, and it's totally different in that case. For example, I've heard this story that Lord Nrsimhadev had a devotee. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name, but anyway, maybe still it will be useful for us, this story. So this devotee was bitten by a snake, and he was still doing his service and continuing to do the service. And the deity of Nrsimhadev, whom he served, noticed that there is some kind of problem here. His leg is bitten by the snake, and Lord Nrsimhadev started to speak to him that why are you continuing this service? Try to treat yourself. Some treatment is necessary for you. But it's really amazing how the devotee answered to this. He said that, oh, whatever is the result of this snake bite is not really important, because if I survive, then I will serve you in this form. But if I don't survive, then in the next life, I will serve you in another form. If I get to the spiritual world, then I will serve you in that form. So it's just the principle which Srila Prabhupada said, that devotees, wherever they go, they do the same thing, serve the Lord. The same way as a typewriter is used for typing on paper, here or on the hellish planets, or wherever you take this typewriter, it will do the same thing. And devotees are just like the same. They serve the Lord wherever they are and whatever body they have. So this has a purpose. And there is this beautiful statements about this from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that he reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die. When thou art living still in sound, the Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. So this is the relationship. This is our position, our sambandha. And the Lord's position is that he is the enjoyer, he is the controller, he is the proprietor, he is full with all six opulences, the most beautiful, the smartest, the most powerful, the most beautiful, having the biggest, greatest wealth, and the most renunciant. So he's attractive. So we just have to uncover this knowledge in ourselves. It's not like we have to acquire something new. This knowledge is sleeping in ourselves, deep within, and we have to just uncover it, and this love, because it's still there. And I've heard this nice example that in the material world, even these small elemental particles can attract each other because the Lord entered into them, and his attractive potency manifests, and that's why some certain particles attract each other. So it's really beautiful. And about our relationship with the Lord, our goal is to please him, and this is why everyone is unique in the spiritual and material world, because all of us have a unique purpose to please the Lord. So all of you can give the Lord different type of pleasure than the others. So there are no two persons who are the same, and you can give Krishna something which no one else can give. And this is so amazing. That's why we can have a very, very personal, unique type of relationship with him. And this is very special. So our main quality, a devotee's main quality is that we serve the Lord, and this is the main quality of the devotee. Are the other qualities like being kind or tolerant or having knowledge or whatever, all those are secondary, but the main quality, the original primary quality of devotees is that they want to serve the Lord. And so this was a little bit about Sambandha. The other two will be somewhat shorter, that because the goal is to achieve something. This prayojana will describe what we can achieve. Because, if we don't know where we are going, we are not really inspired to go. But when we get some kind of description that, when someone wants to travel and they don't know where to go, but some friends show, for example, different photos of Paris or Rome, and the desire starts to be stronger and stronger in the heart that, oh, I also would like to see this. But the strongest of all desire is to experience this spiritual happiness when we are serving the Lord and when we are in relationship with him, when we reciprocate with him, having these loving exchanges. And when we hear about what are the possibilities and how sweet these exchanges can be, how the Lord reciprocates with his beloved associates, then we can develop this desire that, oh, I also would like to achieve this. And there will be a motivation. We can develop a very, very strong motivation. And then there is also Abhideya, which connects the two, Sambandha and Prayojan. And it will show us how to achieve this goal. And by following this method described, we can achieve the goal. And this is how it works, transcendental knowledge, that it shows where we are, where we can go, and how we can get there. And this way, we will get to a higher level and develop our love for Krishna. And there is our third verse. So about this topic, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, thus one's relationship with the Lord, activities in devotional service, and the attainment of the highest goal of life, love of Godhead, are the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here it's again this Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana are mentioned, and he spoke about how these are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So from Srimad Bhagavatam we can get all this knowledge. And in another aspect, it's very similar because it's also about transformation, that our goal is not to have just some theoretical knowledge, but to have some real transformation, to have some practical knowledge, to have this knowledge being manifested in our day-to-day lives. And it means that we behave based on this knowledge. It's not just, I sit here, speak about this knowledge to you, and after the class, I get up and start to go and have a cup of coffee or doing different kinds of material activities. The goal is that we imbibe this knowledge and realize it, apply it, and based on this, develop certain qualities. And and to understand the goal also, the essence of this knowledge, and the essence of how to apply it. Like, for example, the difference between the principles and the details. Because for me, it's so sobering to hear about how great demons also had Vedic knowledge. I also used to quote that Hiranyakashipu spoke so nice things based on Vedic knowledge when Hiranyaksha was killed, and he pacified all the relatives. He spoke about we are not the body, and so many other things. He knew that in order to achieve something, he has to do tapasya and efforts, and made great tapasyas. So it's not like he didn't have knowledge. And also Ravana. Ravana was famous for having great Vedic knowledge, but they didn't understand the main conclusion, the essence of this knowledge. So that's why we have to be very careful about it. And the third aspect which I wanted to speak about is, which is a little bit connected to Abhideya, our actions, is that knowledge is there for different aspects of our actions, because these material modes of nature manifest both, I mean, in everything material, basically. So whatever object we enjoy, these objects are made up of the different, certain type of combination of different modes of nature. But our actions are also connected to the different modes of nature. So actually this science of Vedic knowledge is connected also to the different aspects of these modes of nature. And like the creation, maintenance, and destruction. And these things are even done by the Lord. So creation is originated from him, because everything is coming from him. So he was the one doing the primary creation. So Lord Brahma just so he did the secondary creation using the elements which Krishna provided for him, but also in the form of Lord Vishnu. Krishna is the one who maintains the material world, and also he's the one who destroys it, but also we can see that he destroys demons and others. So this knowledge is very much about also how to properly use these elements, creation and maintenance and destruction, meaning the different gunas, sattva guna, raja guna, and tamaguna. And so having proper knowledge includes all these aspects too. For example, there is Arjuna and Ashwatthama. Both of them knew how to use the Brahmastra, but Ashwatthama only knew how to manifest it, and that's all. He didn't have proper knowledge about what is the purpose of Brahmastra, when to use it, and how to draw it back. So when he manifested Brahmastra, how to stop it from working if it's still it's not needed, how to properly use it, and whatever. So using tools is just one thing, but real knowledge about the tools is more broader. So for example, in our present age, we can see that we know many times we know how to create things, but then we cannot destroy them. One example which I've heard about this is that we create all these plastics, and we don't know what to do with them. At one point, it's just we are trying to recycle or whatever, but even that method is just suitable for part of it to be reused. But but great piles of trash is, there are these photos that they are just floating on the top of the oceans and causing problems for other living entities. So this is because we use something which we don't have proper knowledge about. And we try to treat these problems, but treating one thing generally means that there will be some other kind of problem as a side effect. Another aspect is when we know how to create, but don't know how to maintain. So for example, we just use these facilities we have, but like oil, gas, and whatever there are mined in on the earth, but we use them, and when they are gone, what will we do? So will our life just stop because we are so dependent on these? And also, plants are grown in a way that they don't even see any sunlight or moonlight. And I've heard that there are these farms where in these glass houses, sorry, I don't know the word. So anyway, they grow tomatoes in a way that they are not even planted in soil, but the roots are in some kind of liquid which nourishes them. So what do we expect from these kind of vegetables, which don't get any nourishment from the sun, from the moon, from the soil, and we are so surprised that, oh, we are so sick lately. Also, another aspect that we can destroy, but we cannot recreate it. For example, we create cigarettes, we create drugs, but then when the body is broken down, we don't know what to do with it. We cannot rebuild it or cure it. The air is polluted, the soil is polluted, and all the weather is changing. This is because we use some facilities which we are able to create, but cannot properly use them, don't know when to use them, if they should be used so much, and we don't have a general knowledge. And just yesterday, I had a discussion with one of my friends. He's not a devotee. And it was so surprising when it came to the topic of knowledge. And he said that it's knowledge, for example, when an elderly person can use computers or whatever. And I was so surprised, like, I mean, what is the knowledge? I mean, using tools in themselves is just some kind of skill, but not knowledge. And this is the problem, that our society cannot really make a distinction between knowledge, real knowledge, and using tools, and also knowing information. So knowledge is some kind of general word, but we don't know the meaning. And Vedic knowledge also have this part, like using some kind of tools, because, for example, it's quite a developed tool to use Brahmastra, which Arjuna was the expert of. But Vedic knowledge also speaks about these things, that when to use it, how to draw it back, how to maintain, how to create, how to destroy. And this is much broader than what we are bothering with in our present society. This is just a small part of knowledge, and the goal is also not good, because the goal is just sense gratification. And in order for that, for example, we use all these machines, and it's very interesting, because we follow the four regulative principles, and there is this regulation about not using any kind of drugs, because it causes addictions and whatever. And I was thinking how dependent we are on machines. For example, people have social media applications on their phone and just checking again and again and again, and so dependent on it. And I've heard it in one class that, for example, when we get up in the morning, our mind is 5 times more receptive than generally, and this is one psychological hack of the industries that this alarm application is on the phone. So when we get up in the morning, the first thing we associate with is turn off the alarm in the form of first thing we connect is some kind of machine, our phones. And the result is that we will have a stronger tendency throughout the day to just always be bothered with our phones. And once I've read some interesting quote, I don't know the source, but it was really, really interesting that we are again and again and again checking our social media if we got any new messages. But the Bhagavad Gita always has some kind of new message for us. And are we similarly eager to get those kind of messages? So it's very, very sobering, you know. And it's very thoroughly designed, all these machines, in order to make us addicted. So for example, on social media or WhatsApp or whatever, we can always see that someone is writing a message. And, you know, there is this anticipation that, oh, what kind of message I will get, what kind of information will be revealed there. So these different kinds of hormones are working, and it's difficult to properly handle them. And even this is already quite challenging for us. But this new tool which we can play with, these AIs, artificial intelligence, is even more challenging. I think it was 2 weeks ago when even Guru Maharaj mentioned something that it's not so beneficial to use artificial intelligence, and it's in some regards it's very dangerous for us devotees too, because I spoke to some devotees, and generally there is this understanding that whatever we use in Krishna's service is beneficial. And in one sense it's true. But the dangerous thing in artificial intelligence is that on a short term, it's practical and beneficial, but we don't see what are the long-term results of this. And one thing which I would like to mention that, for example, it's easy to ask for example, references or AI to research where are certain verses, topics, or giving ideas. How to make a presentation. Even I've heard devotees using it to give ideas. And one thing is that we try to escape the efforts, because for me it's always so inspiring when I see that there is one devotee giving class, and I have some question, and the devotee can immediately quote verses from here and there and in other places. And when someone knows the scriptures and not just being dependent on machines to look up whatever we already should know, and which we should endeavor to know all these verses. And another thing is that when we are doing some kind of product, whether it's a picture, whether it's a presentation, we try to put our heart into it. And where is the reciprocation, these feelings which we put into it? And it's quite worrying. And I had a personal experience in this regard, because I'm writing something in English, and well, I wasn't so self-confident that, I mean, I can express myself in English, but it's not like someone who is a native English speaker. And I thought that, okay, I will write the essay in English and I will just put it into ChatGPT to translate from English to professional English, so to say. And, something like 3 days passed, and I realized that sometimes it happens that I change something on the original, and maybe it's just half sentence. And even then, I'm just immediately putting it into the AI that okay, how to say it in professional English, and that how much my self-confidence was destroyed, and my doing things on my own, believing in myself. And that's the problem, that when we are mm, we have too much comfort, then we start to be lazy for doing efforts. When I was a child, there was an animation movie about humankind leaving planet Earth because it was so much destroyed, and humans lived on spaceships, and all the comforts were there for them. So they were just lying down on these comfortable chairs and watched movies and eating, and they were really, really, really fat. And for some reason, they should have they had to get up out of the chair, and it was so difficult because they never used these muscles. And that's what happens to us, that whatever we don't use will just be non-functional. And this is quite worrying, that not to be so comfortable, because efforts is important, and especially when we know the spiritual principles, we should know that patience, enthusiasm, and efforts, these are really needed in order to achieve some kind of results. So let's not be too lazy and put our efforts and our heart, our loving devotion into whatever we do, and get the necessary knowledge. Because just as it was stated, Lord Brahma, it's not like, oh, okay, I need to create this material universe. Let's just get a screwdriver and I will do something. So it's not like that. We have to be very, very, very conscious of what is our position, where we want to get, what is the goal we want to achieve, and how to get there. And during this process of getting there, we need to be enthusiastic, we need to have patience, but most of all, we need to do the necessary endeavors. And let's not lose this quality, and also do everything based on real knowledge, and not just confusing this knowledge with all these modern concepts of knowledge, like information, data, like being able to use some tools. That's not real knowledge. That's just part, or just a projection of knowledge, just a tiny particle of real knowledge. So it's not like development in our modern world means that our surroundings are developing, our tools are developing, but we are degrading ourselves. So real development is not like that. Real developing means that we are developing ourselves. And in comfort, in laziness, we won't find that. Okay, I think I will conclude. Somehow it's always so long, but I just cannot stop myself. Sorry for that, but please, let's open up for discussions.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. It was really, really nice class. I always love your classes anyway. So it was another brilliant class. Thank you so much for that. Dear devotees, if you can please put on your videos, that'll be nice. If you can't, That's all right. You can still ask questions on this nice topic. Mataji has explained so nicely the Sabandha, Abhidaya, and Prajana Mataji. So practical way of explaining that and giving so many good examples that Vedic scripture is a manual of life and we should know exactly how to use it. Otherwise, we will be in the mode of ignorance and suffer. So nice. Thank you so much for that. We know that, but we do forget that all the time. We need
Yeah, we are
reminding.
reminding each other. Yeah.
Reminding. And that's why we need devotees like you to remind us that we have to
I also need devotees who remind myself.
It is, see, this is the importance of a relationship with devotees, isn't it? We do get
Yes,
nice
yes,
reminders.
yes. Yeah, and we inspire each other and support each other. So yeah, association is amazing.
But your knowledge is so good. So we always get nectar from you all the time. It's so good.
Oh, you're
Um,
so kind. You inspire me. All of you.
any questions, devotees? I think that's hearing Leela Mataji says. So thank you as well for covering so many topics. Actually, yeah, and the references, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the verses were so related to these Bhagavatam. They're so interlinked with each other. All these Vedic scriptures, and how important it is to learn them. Really. Actually, if no one has, I don't think so, anyone has raised their hand. So I have a question. Um, you mentioned a point like, we have distorted way of achieving the knowledge. Would you mind just start like, elaborating a little bit? I know you did mention some points on that, but would you please a little bit more
Oh,
elaborate?
I think I think you refer to like when we try to understand all these laws of
Different way, yeah.
nature
You
and
said without manual, the Lego and stuff. Is that what you meant? Yeah.
yes, so for example, in the Middle Age when people were looking for new continents and finding new areas, or all these scientists are so inspired to just reveal all the laws of nature and how they work and understanding these things. So 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 this is one aspect, and the other aspect, which, because maybe most of us are not so scientific that it would be possible for us, but gossip is there for everyone. And when, oh yeah, have you heard that neighbor who did such and such thing? Yeah, she left her husband but went together with another man, and now they are doing this and that. And it has such taste in in it. And we have this pleasure of knowing something new. And yeah, experiencing some kind of taste. But yeah, so knowledge is obviously attractive. So it's in one sense, because this is our original nature, because this cheat potency is about knowledge. But this is also one of Krishna's opulences. And we also, because we know unconsciously that these are the attractive features of everyone. And based on the different conditionings, some people endeavor for being strong, and that way they will be attractive. Some other people want wealth because they will be attractive like that. Some other people want to be beautiful because beautiful people attract others. And so one of them is wanting to be smart because it's attractive. And we endeavor to have these opulences of Krishna, but obviously we are nothing compared to him, but still trying.
I don't think so. There is another. Nobody has raised their hand so far. Only another nice comments from Revati Mataji, which is your class helps me to look deep into myself, which is so nice. Okay, Veronica Mataji has raised the hand. Okay, Veronica Mataji, please ask a question.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much, both of you, for sharing this wonderful place to, you know, to have these relations. I when you were explaining about this, that we have a particular relationship with Krishna. Every living entity has is unique, something that is unique. And I was thinking when later you were telling about this, the artificial intelligence, that we go and try to do things perfectly with the and I was thinking about that, that if we lose our confidence in ourselves with this kind of techniques or technical things, we lose the chance to be that unique and particular being, and lose the we don't think about that our particular way of committing mistakes, for example, is part of that, and is what we lose the you know, the conscious about that special relationship that we have. So this artificial intelligence make us all the same. You see, for example, I want to express something, and to do it perfect, go to this artificial intelligence, and suddenly we are all expressing one thought in the same way. So we are not different at all. And how can we develop the relationship with Krishna if we are all the same? I was thinking about that. Sorry, thank you for listening.
It's interesting because, you know, for example, when I did this translating with artificial intelligence, if I put the same text 2 times, the result was not the same. So it's not like all of us will produce the same results, because artificial intelligence behaves sometimes like this, sometimes like that. But the main point here is that I was thinking, like, just imagine that there is a pujari who needs to clean the altar. And one thing is that he or she can go to the altar and wash the floor and clean the dust and whatever. Or, oh yeah, I have a machine, so I just put this robot vacuum cleaner to the altar and it will do it. And the interesting thing is that, okay, the task is done, but is there any devotion in it? Because, you know, okay, we are doing service, but it's not just service, it's devotional service. It has to be both service and both devotional. So it's not like, oh, Krishna, I love you so much, but I don't do anything for you. That's devotion. But also there is service when there are the activities, but no love expressed in it. It's both is incomplete, so it has to be devotional service. So we have to do it in a way that it's proper. And actually, I saw some ways that even artificial intelligence can be used in a proper way. For example, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, one devotee in Hungary, on a Sunday feast program during the class, it was actually a discussion with an artificial intelligence about Krishna. And the interesting point was that in this regard, in this situation, the artificial intelligence was, you know, it was advertised like, oh, we will speak with artificial intelligence about spiritual topics, and this is sort of like used as an advertisement. But everything was controlled because it wasn't the artificial intelligence teaching the people there, because it was controlled by the devotee who had enough knowledge to be able to correct the mistakes. So this is a nice way of using artificial intelligence. Sometimes it was like there were some preaching programs for young people, students, and devotees used to speak about this movie Matrix. And, you know, because they used to say that it has some kind of spiritual content. I mean, I don't want to speak about that, but we can say that the movie itself is used as an advertisement because it attracts students, young people, and using like this is using it to give spiritual knowledge to them, the essence is a good way. My point in this whole topic of artificial intelligence is that there are so subtle details about how to use it properly and what it's suitable for and what are the short-term results and what are the long-term results. It's totally not discovered and we are not really conscious about it, and we are already using some kind of tool which we don't know how they work. And actually my friends who are more into this topic, they said that the problem is that even the programmers don't know how they work, because there is a bunch of information how they teach this algorithm, and they don't, like a black box, they don't know what's inside. And we are using something which we don't have the broad qualification and broad knowledge of how to use it, when to use it, what it's suitable for. Maybe it's practical today, achieving my results, but what will be the results in a year of using it continuously? And there are some experiments, so scientists are sort of conscious about this topic, but no results so far. And still, it's already used by the broad public. And there was one interesting story which I also heard in this regard, that we have this, I mean, I had this illusion that, okay, they learn in themselves, but maybe we can do that. We give them some laws which are unavoidable. So maybe they can learn whatever they want, but the unavoidable law is that never to kill a human or whatever. But as I've heard, there were some experiments in this regard, that one AI got some money, and everyone could exchange messages with this AI. And the original, the only instruction this AI got was, don't give this money to anyone. So this was the only law the AI got. But people could write messages to the AI, try to get the money from him. And every time they wrote a message, they had to send some money to the AI. So this money was bigger and bigger amount. So it was, more and more tempting to the people. And the interesting thing is, after the 400 message, someone managed to get the money. So even if there was the original instruction not to give the money to anyone, it could be there was a workaround somehow. And that's worrying. So sorry, I didn't want to go into such details. It's just my point is that we get a highly powerful tool, and the limitations are not discovered and the dangers are not discovered, and we are already using it because it's comfortable. And we are very much in the mode of ignorance and passion, and we want to achieve good results. So that's already tempting. And we are lazy, let's say so. So we want to achieve the good results the easiest possible way. And because we are in these lower modes of nature, that's why it's so tempting. And we don't even care about all these dangers. And yeah, so everything can be used in the service of Krishna, but we should be very conscious about it, and devotees should be conscious. And that's part of Krishna consciousness. Consciousness is there. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was a really nice explanation. Why should we avoid the AIs? Because recently, if you talk to anyone, they will be telling us that, if you don't use the new technologies and digital technologies, basically you are not helping other people to know about the spirituality or Krishna consciousness, because you think that it is not good and we should not go on it, but the world is using it, and they are getting other information from the digital medias, whereas they're not getting the right information which you could give to the world. And I was thinking about it, that the point is quite good, that if we put the information on these computers and on these digital medias, that is good, because you can see nowadays even the senior devotees are using the digital media to talk about, and to put their blogs and stuff, which is quite good, because if that information is not available to other public, they will not know actually what right and what wrong is. So I feel that's a good use of digital medias for in service of Krishna. But we have to be careful. You are absolutely right. Because that can
I
be
will tell you another side of the story, of this story, because it's also very interesting. For example, I used to go to this Budapest temple for 14 years. And generally it was nice that the devotees used to go to the morning programs and classes, and even, there is a shop, and some devotees were taking breakfast together after the program. And it decreased to some extent, but then COVID came. And what happened was that because of the COVID lockdown, the temple also had to close for months. And then they started to broadcast the morning classes. And I would say it's useful because there are many devotees who are from other towns are watching these morning classes. But what I noticed is that after these were broadcasted, the devotees from Budapest who could go to participate in the morning program, they are not there. Practically no congregational devotees are present during the morning programs, except those who are working in the temple. And they also just for a short period of time when they don't have to work. And this is a problem, that everything is available, and some devotees and other people get benefit, but because of this, we devotees who could be present, we get lazy.
True. Very true.
And this is the interesting part, that these 4 yugas, how they develop. So actually we see that it's a degrading, and because this is what happens, that in Satya Yuga they do all the efforts, they do meditation for hundreds of years and thousands of years, and not eating and whatever, and they can do efforts and less and less and less, and all the degrading. And this is where we are now in Kali Yuga, that we cannot even focus for 10 seconds, and doing a half-day fast is, oh my God, how will I survive? So,
True. That's why we can't focus on the japa, can we? It's such an easy thing, like just to say and listen, but no, it's not possible for us. But yeah, that is true, and that's why, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very kindly told us that, okay, just do this, And Srila Prabhupada more kindly told us that eat and achieve a goal, like, eat prasadam, get yourself purified, chant, and go back to Godhead, which is,
Yes.
so
Yes.
easy process, but still our mind is so weird. Does not want to focus on anything.
Yes, but this also shows that we really need to endeavor for knowledge, because we have to have the knowledge how to properly use these facilities. So yeah, it's nice that I can also, we can be speaking here now. You are in the UK and I'm here in Budapest, and we can speak about Krishna. So it's nice that we can do this. But when we forget to associate personally with devotees, and that's one important point also, that technology is one thing, but when there are personal exchanges, reciprocations, that's always attractive for the people. So when we go out on the streets, it's not like, okay, yeah, Prabhupada gave us this process of book distribution, but now we just go on the internet and put videos and advertise there and whatever. And it's not important to go out anymore on the streets. It's not a good way of thinking, because it's important to meet the people and and have exchanges with them, because they also have an experience about how a devotee behaves. And for example, to see that how happy a devotee is, that's also a way of preaching. And when they see these things, then it can be attractive, and it's a totally different level of preaching than just connecting on the internet. Sometimes it's not possible to otherwise, but personal reciprocations and yeah, so that's something which should never be neglected.
No, definitely no. Because I'm in the field of medical field, and I realize, like, we know that people are so lonely because of this digital technology. People
Yes.
don't talk to each other, and that creates so much of mental health illnesses as well. That's the cause of the whole mental health illnesses. You talk to those patients, and they feel that nobody is there for them, nobody cares for them. That feeling is killing so many people. So as a devotees, when we go out and talk, that brilliant, that changes, that the transformation you were talking about, exactly that can happen, and we shouldn't stop that now. Good point, Mataji. Yeah, good point highlighted. Thank you so much. I think we have gone 21 minutes over. There's a comment from Singalila Mataji. Once His Holiness Kandavunkananam Swami said that the modes of material nature are sticky, and everything we touch is going to stick to us. True. As you say, we really need to be very careful and knowledgeable. Very, very, very nice comment, Mataji.
Yeah, and it's always so. It reminds me that once His Holiness Shivanam Swami spoke about how Maya Devi approaches us, and he said that it's not like from one day to another we will do some great sinful activity or whatever, but gradually just convinces that, oh, this little thing is also okay, that little thing is also okay, and we don't even notice how we go off the path. So yeah.
Very easily degradation, but slow degradation, and we don't even realize that we are degrading. That's so true.
Yeah,
So
and
sad.
that goes back to the point you mentioned, the importance of association, because whatever we don't notice, devotees can help us notice.
Exactly. Let's be in the association of devotee to be safe, rather than
Yes.
sorry. And are you coming for the next retreat, Mataji? I missed this one. I'm so gutted.
The
The
next
one
one in
with
France, you mean?
France one.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's fine. It'll be nice to see you
Oh,
there again.
we'll meet again. Nice.
Definitely. And other devotees, please, if you are not registered, please register for that retreat. It will be so nice to see everyone there.
Sorry,
Shall I close up, Mataji? Sorry. Yes, Veronica Mataji.
I didn't understand. Are you going to New Mayapur in France?
Yes.
I'm planning to go, so it will be very nice.
It will be nice to meet you there.
Nowadays, I am in Argentina, but planning to move to Spain. I was there, so I'm close to France. I went to New Mayapur last. It was August. Yes, last August, and it was very nice. So when Guru Maharaj said that we will have this next opportunity, I said I want to go. I want to be there.
Yes, please come. Please come.
Yeah,
I'm praying
please
also
come.
to manage to come.
Oh, wonderful, Scarlet Mataji. It'll be so
so
nice to
nice.
see you. Hari
I
bol.
wish, I'm praying, as I said, I'm praying that everything is done with my examination and everything with my health. And then hopefully, I'm praying and wishing and hoping that I could attend in France also.
Oh, I'll pray for you, Mataji. I'll pray for you.
Please do. I need all prayers that I can get. Thank you.
Definitely.
We will
It'll be
definitely
so
do.
nice to see you. Okay, so shall we close now, Mataji, with your permission?
Yeah, we can. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you very, very much for this class. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Looking
Always
forward to
I learn.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Please
Hare
accept.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, everyone, for the nice questions and realizations and for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.